Hey, welcome back to the channel guys, and today we're going to be using the Molino Chiavazza flour to make this fantastic looking pizza. Look at that, looks fantastic. So the protein on this one is 10%. So let's get down and let's make some pizza together. So first off, we'll need 630 grams of water, and it needs to be lukewarm. Just carefully weighing that out, making sure that we've got exactly 630 grams. There we go. And then we need 1 gram of yeast, and then we need to mix that together with a fork. And just making sure we get all that incorporated in there. Now we'll add in the Chiavazza pizza flour. And we just need to gradually add that in a little bit at a time. And then we need to mix it with a fork. And doing that, just make sure that the flour gets nicely hydrated and we don't get many flour lumps in there. Just makes kneading and mixing later on a little bit more easier. So the first impressions of the Molino Chiavazza flour, it was a typical flour, 00, nice and fine. I was concerned that it was only 10% protein, so what I was thinking was that we're using a 63% hydration here, that it might be a little bit runny and a little bit more difficult to handle, but we'll find out later on as the video goes on. Well, as you'll have seen from the pictures, we're nothing out of the ordinary. It's taken to the water really nicely, and we're not getting too many lumps in there. So just a quick shout out to everybody who's subscribed and everybody who's asked some questions on previous videos. It really is an absolute pleasure, and thank you so much for subscribing. It really does mean a lot to myself and Oliver, so thank you very much for your support. So you'll see now with the flour, we're just starting to get into the point where it's becoming a little bit more difficult to mix with the fork, and we'll not be too far off before we're pouring this onto the work surface. So if you have used this flour before, what are your experiences? Please leave me a comment. So let's pour some flour onto the work surface. Now don't forget, leave a little bit of flour to scrape the bowl out, so just place that onto the work surface like that, and then we'll pour out that pizza dough out of the bowl. So just get as much as we can out with our hands. You can use a spatula at this point as well. I forgot to put the spatula in, so I was using my hands. But if you don't want to get messy hands like me, use a spatula, and then use a spare flour to scrape out the bowl. So that's all the 1 kilogram of flour now into the mix. So I need to fold all that flour into the main mix, and it will, as always, look like it's not going to do it, but if you just press it down into this flour, you'll find that it starts to pick it all up. It is rather sticky at this moment in time, so it doesn't take too long to do that. So just keep pulling all that flour into the main dough. So you just got to be a little bit patient at this stage, but keep pressing that into the work surface, into that flour, and it will pick it all up. So there you go, it is starting to pick it up now. Keep it into the middle, like I'm there, scrape it into the dough ball, and then give your hands a rub. Take all that stuff off your hands, and now you'll see that we're ready to knead. So we need to knead for around 10 minutes, or until the dough starts to become really smooth. Now the good thing about this flour is it became smooth very quickly. And this again was quite surprising. With this particular flour, I did think we were going for a bit of a sticky mess, but no, quite the opposite. Very smooth, very quickly. So just a couple of taps just to make sure that it's nice and smooth all the way around. And yes, I'm very impressed with this flour. It's really good. So now it's going smooth. We need to now shape it into the ball. Again, only having to do a few turns. Look at that, looks fantastic, really smooth and nice. So we'll cover it for the hour. And just like that, after the hour, look at that, looks fantastic. So now we'll start to add in that 25 grams of salt. So just take that off the work surface with the dough scraper, and we'll add in the 25 grams of salt, there we go. Just popping that over the top, and we'll fold it in, and it just makes sure that the salt is nicely even distributed around the dough, and that when we come to mix it in and knead it by hand again, we're not just getting big blobs of salt everywhere. So we'll knead that for 5 minutes and just make sure all that salt is evenly mixed in to the pizza dough. But as you'll see from the pictures, it is beautifully smooth, this pizza dough. And just as a bit of a channel update, now we're moving into the spring and summer, we'll have some nice long cold-proof pizzas coming up. So, very impressed with the Molino Chiavazza pizza flour, got to say. Really nicely handles, no stickiness. So after the 5 minutes of kneading, need to shape it into a ball, and then we need to pop it in to the mixing bowl again. And guess what? We need to cover it with a shower cap and leave it for 19 hours. So it is before and after 19 hours. Okay, so let's open it up and let's have a look at the surprise that's inside. So first off, it's not stuck to the shower cap. Let's open it up. Let's have a look at that gluten and all that structure and the window test. So look at that. It's really stretchy and it's really thin. It's looking good so far. I'll open that up a little bit more for you so you can have a look inside. Just lifting that up. Look at that. That looks absolutely fantastic, doesn't it? Look at all that structure. This is going to be some good pizza, guys. Can see it now. So just unstick that from the side of the bolt. And as you can see, it's coming away nice and cleanly. So now we'll make the pizza balls. So we need 230 grams per pizza ball. There we go, spot on. And look at this. It's like a record time. It's so smooth. I hardly need to use any work on there. So just a little bit of semolina flour into the pizza pot just to make sure it's dry. And then we'll place the pizza ball into the pot. Look at that. It's just a joy to work with this flour. Hardly any work needs to be done. So we'll pop that into the pot and we'll put the lid on, and then we need to let these rest for 5 hours. And after 5 hours, it's pizza time coming right up. So here we go, pizza time, the time of joy for everybody. So just using a bit of semola flour, and going to take the lid off that pizza pot, and we'll get that dough ball right out. Just putting a little bit on the top, get that little shake around, tip it back out, and look at this, straight out. No speeding up on this one. This comes out clean as a whistle. So we'll speed things back up again now. So just using our fingers to press out that base. Looks fantastic. So really surprising for a low protein flour, that it's no tearing, no issues. It's not quite as soft as some of the other flours I've worked with, but it's doing just as good a job, and it's really strong. So we'll use the Mutti tomato sauce. Fantastic, this stuff really is. Get yourselves a can of this. It really does up your pizza game. So put a little bit of Parmigiano on, and then we'll put in a little bit of the grated mozzarella. Fantastic. And we'll put some jalapenos on just to spice things up a little bit. And this buffalo mozzarella I've got here, I used a smoker, and it really does offer the pizza a really smoky taste. So we use gas on our channel for the oven, and I would say that this is the best way of getting that smoky taste into your pizza. So onto the peel, and we will pop that into the oven. Just a little bit of reshaping there. So the oven is at 400 degrees, and we're just going to speed this up now. So there's no cutting here, but there is a little bit of an issue that I dropped my pizza peel in a second. So the first turn that you'll see, I have to use the normal pizza peel and turn it by hand. And so we're going to make that first turn any second now. So here we go. Let's make that first turn. So I've dropped the turning peel, so I just have to use a normal one. So I'm just going to go inside now and wash the turning peel. So looking great. Here's a turning peel, nice and clean again from dropping it. And we'll just make another turn, and this time we're just going to turn it the 90 degrees. Looking fantastic, and it smells really nice as well. So don't forget, we're using that smoked buffalo mozzarella on this, and in a later video I'm going to show you how you can do that. I bought a cheap smoker off the internet the other day, just sort of giving myself a little treat. So that's coming up in a later video, And we're going to be using some nice smoky cheese. So there you go, that's the pizza out. Let's put it on and let's get it cut open. Well, let's hear that crisp. Listen to this. I know that some of you guys like to have a look underneath, so there we go. That's underneath. Nice bit of char in there. That'll add some fantastic flavour when we start to eat this thing. Okay, so let's open it up. Listen to that crisp. Wow. So this was a fantastically tasting pizza, and that smoking mozzarella really does lift the pizza all together. So let's have a look at those crusts. Look at that, looks fantastic. Nice crust. Nice looking pizza. So please leave a comment. Have you used Molino Chiavazza flour before? I certainly will be using this again. Let me know what your thoughts are on this. It really is a fantastic flour. I bought it from Amazon. It was around £3 a bag, so get yourself some. And all that remains to say is bye for now. See you the next time.